Bit different. TNT, of course, plays it well, but you also feel like he plays the Corki and the Lucian champions like that incredibly well. So we'll have to see whether that is a worthwhile ban as the draft phase continues.
Yeah, certainly see if that is the case. World 6 Gragas banned away. Vici don't want to take any chances.
Yeah, this is one of those things that teams are going to continue to ban Gragas on the blue side until World 6 proves he can play another jungler, because there's just so many top-tier jungle picks, like the Echo, like the Rek'Sai, but World 6 definitely finds a lot more success on Gragas than he does any other pick, so teams are just going to continue to take it away until he can prove that he plays the Echo, the Nunu, the Rek'Sai on the same level, because right now, as we said, Gragas is the primary pick for him in that jungle.
Yeah, and with Echo locked in, that's going to be for Swift on Qiao. He likes to play it a tank style, and Froskuren said it herself. He is one of the premier Echo junglers in the world right now.
Oh, 100%. I don't even think you have to throw one of in there. He's just fantastic on the champion.
Yeah.
He's able to be so frustrating. Like, he survives on slithers of health. He has very good positioning of that W, able to lock people down or at least get the slow through. And, you know, Echo has a loaded kit, but you have to be able to execute on it. And Swift is one of those people that can do it time and time again.
We'll see if he's going to continue maintaining that success, as that's going to be Sivir and Alistar left up for Vici for Endless and Mata. Priority on the bottom lane for Vici Gaming with this.
I like that. Getting Mata an initiator, someone that he can go for that deep vision with, is definitely good. I also like the fact that Endless gets a neutral lane right now. Sivir just shoves people out. As Frosk pointed out yesterday as well, you generally lane against minions if you have Sivir in your lane, because she just destroys it then recalls. So this means that they have a good chance lane swapping, because Sivir holds a wave well, but also fast pushes incredibly well. Mata will be able to roam, and that's what Vici like to do. They like to lane swap on you, get incremental advantages around the map by playing the map itself, not the team on the map, and seeing how they can make it work.
Well, we'll have to see if Vici can continue to play towards that style, or if Xiao will be able to break through. Because right now it looks like they've got a pretty solid dive composition to withstand some of the split and pressure from Vici. You've got Hecarim locked in for V, and that's TCT locking in Janna.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to see the Janna come through here. Gives the reset. This is what they use when they play that dive comp, because what happens, they go in, they collect one carry, TCT wanders to the front line, hits the big monsoon, and everyone has to reset. You take the fight from scratch, and it's a 4v5 all of a sudden, and V is definitely most effective when he's playing Hecarim, and he's able to grab one of those champions this game.
Yeah, on the other side, Vici Gaming go for a quick lock-in. They're putting Hatong on that similar Cassiopeia, rocking the Shurima, whereas World 6 is going for the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, so once again, World 6, a lot of pressure on him to be able to impact the early game. They're saving their counter pick right now for Dandy in the top lane, even though they've seen the Hecarim. Is still available. Maybe just prioritizing one of the champions that Doinby has shown a lot of success on outside of the Victor. He's also played a little bit of Cassiopeia, so I like the ban phase so far from Vici. They have a lot of good things going for them. They kite incredibly well. Also have some dive coming through into their comp, and have to see what QG want to do to round it out.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be Doinby on Orianna. Hatong was hovering it, but Doinby's the one who locks it in into the Cassiopeia, and TNT goes back to his tried and true vein.
And the contentious bottom lane continues. Yeah. So, you know, we've heard it from all sides. Rusty says it best. It is the best out of lane combo you can have for Vayne. If you get out of lane with Vayne at equal or better, and you have a Janna on your team, fantastic. You get a free BF sword, you get like 45 damage coming through from your ultimate, and you can build outright crit attack speed with some armor penetration in there, and she shreds people.
Yeah.
The danger is, if people don't lane swap on you, and you're stuck in lane with Vayne Janna, it's very hard to withstand certain elements of the game. You know, if you go for an aggressive support like Mata's got here, it's going to be difficult to keep him out of your face. And once again, the world-famous Dandy Rumble has returned.
Locks it in for the top lane, taking it into V's Hecarim, and interesting pickup from Dandy.
Yeah, it certainly is. So, you know, he played it during Masters. We already had the conversation last night when he was on the same team as Acorn. Said Acorn wasn't the better Rumble. He was. Had a shocker, honestly, in Game 2 against OMG. So we'll have to see whether he finds any success on it this time. But, you know, to continue the bottom lane on QG's side, I like the fact that they're willing to take the risk, because Vici is a team that's known to lane swap. So there's a very good chance that Vayne will get a free lane this game.
We'll definitely find out as we're running through the rosters on the screen right now. You just saw V and Dandy. Here are Swift and World 6. Swift on that amazing jungle Echo. Next up are the mid laners. It's Doinb and Hatong on the control mage, going to distance themselves style. And it's actually kind of interesting to see Doinb on a little bit more utility.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, he plays the support mages really well, so I'm sure he does have a terrific Orianna coming through here as we see Vayne versus Sivir. This is the counter matchup for Vayne. If she can get a Blade of the Ruined King, we'll hunt Sivir around the map. And Alistar versus Janna with TCT taking on Mata.
Yeah, should look for a very exciting matchup, and we'll definitely have to see if they do go for that lane swap. And really, I'm excited to see how this is going to work out, because it's second place versus Vici, who are currently 8th, but they've been climbing in the standings. We'll find out as we're getting onto the Rift right now. And we have made it onto the Rift. This is our last set of the weekend. It's Xiaogu versus Vici Gaming. We're getting into game number 1 right now. Second place versus 8th. But that being said, it's only a 5-point difference between these two.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Vici would love to deliver that first O2 performance right now to Xiaogu. You must think that it's around the corner. Someone has to do it.
Yeah. We'll see if they're able to make it to playoffs without dropping a single O2, as we've got defensive line coming across. It is an actual 5-point out of Xiaogu, and looks like it's going to be similarly answered by Vici Gaming. Recall coming out from V as he drops a forward ward. Dandy's actually on the top side of the map as well, so it looks like we might just get that duo, and as I say it, TNT heads up to the top side.
Yeah, no. Looks like, yeah, so actually TNT will head up to the top side. So lane swap actually initiated by QG this time around, and that's probably just because of the Vayne Janna lane. You don't want to be shoved in. Just free farming is good for Vayne. As soon as there's any points into that Eye of the Storm for Janna, it's going to mean good things. And a pink ward actually picked up and placed by V at level 1. So using some of that gold, he's going to be jungling with the smite, so he will get around relatively quickly to help the team out.
We'll have to see if that is going to be effective at keeping Doinb safe, and I guess that kind of speaks to what we can expect from that mid lane. If there's already that early permanent vision, Doinb can probably get a pretty aggressive on that side of the map.
Yeah, it's hard to always get aggressive into Cassiopeia, you know. Yeah. Orianna does a good job of shielding herself up, but Cassio is just going to be able to whittle you down, and as soon as level 2 comes in, aggression will be the aim of the game for Hatong.
We'll see if that is the case. Command Protect is going to be the first ability for Doinb to absorb some of those poison ticks from Hatong as both of the duos head to their respective lane, while the jungles going for a bit of double jungle right now. It's going to be World 6 on the weak side of the map as he's on the top.
So Doinb getting shoved in here, wards the middle of the lane just to make sure that he can see if any lane gank is going to come through or whether the junglers move that direction. Would have loved for it to be a little bit deeper, I assume, just to get the vision around the corner, but not able to do so. But instead, content to let himself be shoved in, because as I said, very hard to go with Cassiopeia early game. Yeah,
it definitely is, and looks like Hatong's actually going for a bit of a deep ward himself, making sure he's not going to fall prey to the same trick as he gets a ward onto the Raptor camp. Recall coming out from both V and Swift will put them back in base, while the two duos freezing it up on the top and bottom side.
Yeah, and you see straight away TCT recalls, leaves the Vayne up top to absorb all the extra experience and tries to help out bottom lane. They want to see if they can get experience from every lane here. 3 strong heading bottom, and this is a greedy play out of QG because it will be 4 people down there. See whether they can cut them off and still get the initiation they're looking for.
Yeah, you can see they're actually waiting back just a little bit on your minimap right now. Don't want to take any chances.
They're walking up with their wave is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Tricky
spot, and Vici are able to zone them away.
So Vici get the complete zone, and there's nothing they can do. All of a sudden, 3 people denied experience, forced back into the jungle, and that's an early advantage to Vici. And this is what I said. When Vici play the map, not their opponents, they generally get a hurt early. That's not their problem at all. It's how they are able to close out games.
We'll see if this is going to be successful this time around, as they're continuing that same trend and same pattern, as looks like we are seeing a double jungle once again continuing out of Swift and V. First turret secured by Vici, as it's going to be a shove on the bottom, but
I would love to get a look at the bottom wave quickly just to see whether they bounced it back to secure any farm for Dandy. You see TNT continuing to farm up in the top lane, and Mid has just been a farm fest, and that suits the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, seems to be doing Doinby just fine as well, as he's only about 4 CS back, but he's closing that gap just fine with the wave building. And there is a swap now coming out from TNT. Looks like he's going to head on down to the bottom with TCT while V catches some farm on the top side. And Vici answer by sending their duo to the top side of the map as well.
Yeah, so Vici draw first turret coming through there. They're also able to, once again, zone away the top laner, and the wave is shoving towards Vici in the bottom lane. So Dandy, if he gets any support down there, will be able to catch that. And if nothing else, he probably won't grab a heck of a lot of CS, but he'll get some experience, which means that he'll be closer to that important ultimate that can come through and all the mid-game control.
Yeah, you can see he's suffering just a bit right now, only level 2, whereas V, on the other hand, is level 3 and not going to be taking any chances on the top side of the map, knowing that there was the duo and a potential dive waiting for him. So he goes to head back into the jungle.
And World is a little bit late. Teleport coming in.
Yeah, this could be a bit scary as Swift coming in for a flank. This could be the dive from V, and yeah, he gets in there. The stun doesn't quite find them in time, and they don't juggle the aggro just right. Minions are going low. They could be cleared out, but the wave bounces in just in time. Dandy takes damage. He goes low. Is he going to go down? World 6 staggers it. TNT gets the auto attack. First blood picked up by World 6, as it was V who ended up going down, but here come the rest of Vici collapsing into the fight. World 6 forced to get out of there. Hatong taking damage from Doinby over the wall. Swift can't catch up to him in time. He's looking for the auto, and finally Hatong flashes away.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Sivir in the top lane continues to farm. Dandy falls down, so doesn't get any of that experience, but World 6 with first blood. Fairly even trade, but 1.2 thousand gold the advantage right now for Vici, and that was just a very well-played lane swap coming through.
Yeah, the dive not successful. Mata actually finds TCT over here. The exhaust goes down. Here's even the teleport from Dandy. He's looking for an assist. There's a flash. TCT just made it out of there.
Yeah, so exhaust burn on a support. You generally don't want to be doing that in the early game, but able to flash over the wall means that TCT lives.
With that, it is the 1-for-1, as you mentioned, about an 1,100 going on 1,200 difference between the two teams, but more importantly, it's the gold. Who were the ones who got the kill? For Xiaogu, it's the 80 carry. For Vici, it's World 6.
Yeah, so a little bit accelerated right now is TNT. World 6 needs to impact some of the other lanes. Dandy is the real loser in all of this because he's continually in a bad lane and might be ganked here.
Yeah, here comes Swift. Doesn't find the stun, picks up a shield instead, but still at low health. He's going to be forced to play a little bit safer because they don't want to overextend and accidentally overexert themselves. That's not in Vici's MO.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. V in the top lane, able to grab some experience and CS for himself, now shoved away because of the roam that came through from Hatong. Second turret of the game, going to fall for Vici.
Yep. These paper cuts starting to build up. Not only is it first blood, but it's looking to get to 2 turrets, and boom, just like that, 2,000 gold lead for Vici, 7 minutes and 45 seconds in.
And as I said, watching Vici play the map is honestly beautiful. They do it better than any team coming through. They won the lane swap outright, able to get some extra farm onto that 80 carry, take down a couple of turrets, get the global gold rolling as TCT. You don't have flash this time.
Yeah, he's caught out once again. He's got exhaust, but Dandy's doing some serious damage here. 4 members get in there. Who's going to get the kill? Oh, it's Hatong.
Yeah, Hatong able to play janitor there, clean that one up. A kill on the mid lane Cassiopeia, definitely going to be a good thing. No response coming through right now for QG. Maybe a dragon will be looked at, but that's going to be risky with Hatong still in the mid lane, so they just back away, and currently 2 kills, 2 turrets over to Vici for nothing.
Yeah, not looking too great for Xiaogu as that kill continues to exacerbate that gold lead that Vici have. And as you mentioned, they're not able to respond by taking the dragon. They take the one objective that they can, stealing away Hatong's blue buff, instead of looking for anything a little bit bigger.
Yeah, no, that's actually still a really good pick away from the Cassiopeia. Going to be helping throughout the mid-game. Gives Orianna one early on. Might even be lucky enough to grab the second for an experience boost, if nothing else. As Swift continually following around this Bane lane, trying to get TNT further ahead.
Oh, Mata actually stepped out of the bush, but Swift still going to decide to cancel the recall, not taking any chances as TNT opting for a recall himself. V, I have no idea how he got in that spot, but it's not a good one to be.
Yeah, it certainly isn't, but they're sending the Orianna up, so nothing really going to come through here.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to gallop his way to safety. He just went for a lovely jaunt through Vici's jungle.
Yeah, it doesn't check the brush for the pink, however. Always A move through brushes, guys. The only advice I'll ever give you. Don't buy wards, don't do any of that crazy stuff that the pros do, but just A move through brushes.
Does the A move automatically aggro wards?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, the more you know. The Jake Tiberi Show. So
I don't A move at all, by the way.
No?
I'm such a hypocrite. I am a right clicker only. That's why I can't play AD carry.
I A move minions only, and then right click everywhere else.
Wow. How do you play AD carry?
I don't play AD carry.
Makes sense, see? There you go.
It's really a sloppy show, but these guys
No, these guys
much
are
better.
sloppy. We're sloppy.
Yeah. Oh, Swift finds World 6, level 6 for both of them, and it is full tank out of World 6, and once again, Swift looking for something similar.
Yeah, it gets a snowball sight going. That's really clean play out of World 6, making sure that he's able to get the vision the team needs because he was the one that picked up the first blood. And Dandy now with that level 6 and a slight CS advantage over V means that he's much more team fight ready than the Hecarim. Low threshold coming through for the Rumble, of course, and Hecarim, he needs to continue to get farm, especially because he's gone the Smite route.
Yeah. Not having that great a time in this game as he's farming up on the bottom side. Dandy on his recall picks up his Haunting Guise, so with level 6 secured, he might be ready to drop an equalizer on a few unsuspecting members of Xiao Gu if he can just find the right opportunity. The duo from Vici once again head to the top side of the map. I swear we've seen 3, now 4 lane swaps.
Yeah, they're just continuing to follow TNT around because they want to get farm onto Dandy.
Ooh.
Wow.
Gank goes onto Hatong, doesn't land the back half, and Hatong actually deals some punishment right back around. Is he going to follow the path? No, he's dodging it nice and intelligently. Not going to be caught out by Swift. World 6 Amana joining in the fray. Hatong doesn't land the poison quite yet, and Swift makes it out alive.
Yeah, so Swift able to make it out alive, but so low now you'd think that that will be the dragon started up. Of course, able to get back to your recall if you are the Echo, so they need to be careful because maybe Swift will be back sooner than they think, but no contest coming through right now for QG, meaning that Vici not only a 2,500 gold advantage, but an 11-minute dragon.
Yeah, Vici looking very strong in this one, turning that gank around with Hatong, effectively using his summoner skills and Petrifying Gaze. They secure the dragon, and Swift left feeling a little worse for wear. And I just want to point that out right now. Swift is down 17 creeps, and not lane creeps, jungle creeps, and that kill. He's fallen further behind World 6.
Yeah, he certainly is in World 6, showing that the Rek'Sai also something that needs to be respected is this. The Gragas bands continue to fly through, and have to see whether, as this game goes on, Swift is able to make an impact on the Echo. And once again, Vici, when they aren't playing against opponents, they've been non-interactive the entirety of the game, with the exception of the answer to the turret dive, which was once again more of a map movement than anything else, sending multiple members across to help Dandy. They're just so good at being able to strangle people off objectives, and now pressure on QG to be able to fight back and really get advantages.
Yeah, seems like Xiao Gu having a bit of trouble in this one as they're down 3,000 gold 13 minutes in. There is still 2,000 gold worth on the map on those 2 turrets that they're still down, but Vici are being so crisp and clean with their map movements. They're not letting any turret undefended for any too long.
But this is what happens with Vici games. They play the early game like this. They don't leave the turrets undefended. But then if you lose one team fight, because all the standing gold is those turrets, as we mentioned, 2 turrets is roughly the 2,000 gold lead. It's 3 now, so a little bit extra. Just means that as soon as this Vayne gets rolling, she picks up a double kill, they win a team fight, able to shove back in and pick up some standing gold. Everything goes back to QG. So Vici, once again, they've manufactured this gold lead just through very good rotational play. But can they keep it? Because this is the recurring question with Vici.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out in this match as we approach the 14-minute mark. And things continue to remain nice and calm and slow. And I think Xiao Gu are okay with that. They've got the late-game Vayne. They've got the Cinder Hulk Hecarim, who are nowhere near close to coming online. And Doinby continuing to farm it up in the mid lane as well. Everyone's going nice and slow. Dandy might be caught out here as he's overextending a bit too far. There goes the onslaught of shadows. Dandy's taking a lot of damage. Equalizer tries to trade it over. He's doing some work, flashes over the wall, and no one can follow him. He gets out.
Yeah, so Dandy in the end able to escape that gank as no flash available for Swift. So ultimates and a summoner spell traded for a good gank coming through there. But once again, this is a deep freeze now for V. He's going to be able to pick up some more CS, continue to scale into that later stage of the game. Vici will definitely pressure for this next dragon as Mata breaks the freeze. That's very nice work from Mata.
Clever play here. Poor V is not going to be able to stagger this out for too long. You can see he's desperately trying, but taking a lot of damage from the minions. Again, he's only got Merc Treads. There's the freeze broken. Mata, good guy.
Yeah, Mata able to pressure that underneath the turret, make sure, and they sent Endless down here as well. They really do not want to let V farm. In fact, they're prioritizing forcing V off farm instead of TNT right now.
Endless is getting some damage now onto the tier 2. Swift comes down. Now that the overshield is popped, that's going to make diving a little less, a little more exciting for Vici, but they decide not to go for it. Instead, just continuing to keep forward pressure as they creep their ward line further and further forward. Oh, good steal away, but I believe that was...
Swift got that.
They both smote it.
Yeah.
Smited it?
So Swift got the gold, World 6 got the Wrath Descent.
Ah, yes.
Because only one person can get the smite proc.
Really?
Yeah.
The more you know.
Otherwise, it would be really, really silly because you, as a top laner, smite the Gromp, go to lane. Oh, Swift fought.
Yeah, there's the blue buff going on. Swift taking a lot of damage here as he's trying to clear that out. Gets a huge stun. Chrono Break gets right back out of there, but he's not quite tanky just yet. He is able to secure the blue buff, however, and they're going to disengage.
Yeah, so Doinby not able to grab his blue buff. Just a little bit of a scuffle, and you see yet again, Vici don't want to commit to any of these fights. QG, as we mentioned, they're content to scale. They're not really bothered to commit to them at all either. Just some pressure put on the map means that Doinby doesn't get a blue for this next dragon fight. So small victory over to Vici Gaming, but nothing to write home about still.
Yeah, not quite yet. It's still only about a 2,500 gold lead. It was going on 3, but closing that difference just a bit by getting some valuable creep back onto V and allowing Doinby to get some alone time with his lane as well. Dragon's going to be up in about 80 seconds. And you've already got the duo of Xiaogu headed to that side of the map, and Vici look to answer as they've got their duo down there too.
Yeah, Vici probably want to delay this one out until the Equalizer is back available. They have the teleport in the top side of the map as well, so they'll continue to shove out lanes, make sure that they have good vision control around this area, but Dandy's ultimate is important for the fight and must be available.
Yeah, right now Dandy's getting some time in the top wave unanswered as V doesn't have his teleport, so he's got to keep himself on this side of the map or perhaps lose some pressure on that dragon when it spawns. TNT gets a very early level 10, and they clear out the Scuttle Crab just fine. Xiaogu are ready and waiting for that dragon to spawn.
Yeah, so Xiaogu actually has control over the area. When you look at the wards, very good vision coming through there, but the top lane stack, we mentioned the fact V doesn't have the teleport available. Dandy does. Equalizer back up as well. As soon as they see two members up here, you would think that that would be the go button to start up the dragon.
Yeah, there's actually a recall from Endless on the other side of the map, and World 6 is going for the deep invade as well. Suddenly it seems like Vici sacrificing a perfectly good objective. Okay, it's canceled by Endless. World 6 is going to start heading over there.
Yeah, Vici don't sacrifice objectives. Yeah. We're talking about the wrong team right now. You see, as soon as they see those members, they start congregating around the dragon area. They have the Cassiopeia, they have Siva, who's got some nice items. They're going to be able to take this one away, and it doesn't look like QG will be there in time to respond. Yeah, they're shredding through its health right now. The flash comes over, but Swift chrono breaks to get himself out. Dragon picked up by Vici. Yeah, but once again, this is another cut coming through. What's that? Cut number 4. So they will continue to play this way. Maybe not 1,000, but they need a couple more to really cement this lead coming in here. And it's really nice control play, once again, from Vici. Watching them play the map. It's very textbook League of Legends, but it has been known to bite them, and I just love watching Vici play because of how controlled they are, but you almost hang on to the mistake that will be made, and with some big items coming through, Blade of the Ruined King, as well as a needlessly large rod in Doinby, you think that QG, they're going to ramp up to being fight ready before the next dragon is available.
Well, if any team can withstand these 1,000 cuts, it would be Xiaogu. We've seen them come back from terrifying 10,000 gold deficits, win a team fight, and almost win the game. So this is probably going to be Vici's worst nightmare as far as teams that can exploit your weakness. But we'll see if that is the case this time around, as we've said time and time again. Xiaogu content to sit and wait.
Yeah, so as we see, they're just funneling farm onto their important members. 190 CS in the mid lane. Doinby, very good farming efforts coming out of him. He's right on the 10 per minute right now, and even the Vayne, 145 CS, is keeping even with the Sivir. Hasn't gone for something like the Avarice Blade, like Endless did, to make sure that he's ahead in the game at this stage. A lot of the gold would actually probably be towards that item right now. But they're just farming up their jungle as a 3-man, continuing to clear out vision, and making sure that they can stay safe.
Yeah, that's the name of the game for Xiaogu, to stay safe. Do not hemorrhage objectives. Do not hemorrhage any sort of CS discrepancies. And they're doing a pretty solid job right now. Looks like V heads down to the bottom. He's going to catch up with Endless. Does have his Cinder Hulk and a pretty decent amount of damage, but he doesn't want to take any chances where he doesn't know where the rest of Vici are.
Yeah, he just wants to shove that lane in, make sure that it bounces back off the turret. Doesn't want the freeze to come through for Endless, and continue to shove the waves up. Minions are the best wards in the game, so able to shove out a wave, give yourself the vision up that deep, especially if you don't have to overextend to catch it, will be a good thing. And you can see that they're just going to continue to rotate around the map right now, both teams, and pick up the farm. Oh,
teleport coming out onto the other side of the map, and it's cancelled by Dandy as V just runs out.
Yeah, so they thought the V might overextend there, but he still had the ultimate available. Teleport not really an issue right now for Dandy, because it will be up by the time the next dragon is available, and they're just continuing to, as I said, farm up. This is going to be a long game, you feel.
Yeah, a very solid farm fest coming out of the two. Vici getting a lot of very aggressive forward wards in Xiaogu's jungle. Swift drops the parallel convergence. Endless actually forced to burn is on the hunt in order to escape. They can't turn it around on the Swift. And again, the blue steal looks to be happening. Is TNT going to be able to get it? Not quite, as the reset tosses it to World 6.
Yeah, but maybe TNT looking for a fight now.
Just might be, as Mata takes some serious damage. The parallel convergence finds him. He has already burned the Unbreakable. Shockwave pulls them in, but the Equalizer looked to trade it over. TNT can't find a way in. V's on the backside, but the wrong target. There's the onslaught of shadows into 4. Here comes TNT, finally finding the fight that he wanted. He's immediately engaged upon by Mata. Tumbles aggressively forward, looks for Hitong, brings him low, and Xiaogu take the fight like an absolute monster.
And as we said, this is a problem with Vici's composition. If they ever drop a team fight, there's so much standing gold. They control the entirety of it. Now there's a 3-0-3 Vayne, a 3-0-2 Orianna, and they push in for the objective. Game back to square one.
Exactly. It's dead even in gold now, and that one mistake was so huge for Vici. They didn't keep an eye on V. They weren't able to keep TNT out of the fight, and Doinby so effective in damage.
Yeah, let's take another look at it. Swift walks into the middle of everyone with the ball, gets a decent shockwave, and then has to run away. But this is the ultimate you're talking about. V cleans up 3 people with it, 4 actually, and TNT feels safe. All the cooldowns have been used. He flashes over the wall, able to continue to fight because of a great exhaust coming through. Endless has nowhere to go. He gets caught out. Mata also falls down to Doinby's Orianna.
Just like that, it's an ace for Xiaogu, from having 1 kill in the game to 6 after a single team fight, and all of that gold on the carries who matter. Xiaogu, they waited, and that investment paid off.
Yeah, exactly right. Deathcat finished off. Phantom Dancer finished off. All of a sudden, you have 2 huge late-game carries that have been rapidly accelerated at the 23-minute mark. And Vici, they've done it again. They just don't want to take any team fights. They want to play safe League of Legends. And when they do roll the dice, it just never comes up their favor.
Yeah, things not looking too hot for Vici after that. They might be hunting for a pick over here. World 6 is going to be spotted out by Doinby. And Dragon's going to be up in a minute. Interestingly enough, Vici are sitting on top of the Baron to pose a greater threat to Xiaogu, but I'm not so certain that they would want to fight like the previous one.
Well, they have a very real sneak coming through, because if you ever see Cassiopeia disappear off the map, especially with how accelerated World 6 was in this game, there's a big possibility that Vici can sneak a Baron just because of all the damage that's coming out. So QG definitely respecting that, forced them away from the objective, and now it will be about the Dragon. Teleport will be available for Dandy, but V won't have his, so he has to stay on that side of the map.
Yeah, so Dragon's up in 15 seconds. V, as you mentioned, staying. He actually completes his recall. might not have been the best idea, as Dragon's up in 6 seconds, and Vici, they've got wards all over the pit, but they're not in a position to take it. Interestingly enough, Hetong's on the top side of the map. They might just seed this Dragon over.
Mata is actually going to give this away. I honestly think that they want to do the Baron, because you see they've got everyone in this pit. They've got their jungler on the bottom side, but he has Void Rush. They're committing to it. That's going to be a Baron for a Dragon.
Pings are going down. Void Rush being used by World 6 as he dashes across the map. Here comes V. He should be able to spot this out. And
can he get close enough?
Yeah, Mata gets denied. Is he going to be able to make it in time? He dashes in. No, it's Vici who secured the Baron over here.
Can they get out?
Yeah, Xiaogu forcing the fight. They turn on to Dandy. Dandy goes down. They need to find more members, but they just can't quite get there in time. TNT on the chase, on the hunt, looking for Hetong. He finds him, and Hetong goes down.
Yeah, so Hetong goes down. What else can they get? Mata on the top side.
Yeah, takes a knock-up. He does throw the unbreakable will, but he's going to end up going down in the long run with 5 members of Xiaogu hammering at him. He drops to Doinby.
Yeah, so Baron for 3 members. I'm going to give it over to QG, but a Q play came out. If they're able to grab the Dragon here, although straight away Vici are running in that area, this game is just topsy-turvy. Once again, Vici will not play their opponents. They'll only play the map at this stage of the game. And it just seems to not be working out for them.
Yeah, definitely not. They do have a minor gold advantage right now. Endless trying to burn through. There's the teleport from Dandy. TNT can't make it in time. And that's going to be the Dragon secured by Vici.
Actually, probably in Vici's favor, because they trade 2 objectives for 3 kills. Happy to give that one over to them. So, once again, some good shot calling, a great teleport. V will grab the top lane turret in the meantime. So, some more standing gold picked up by QG. Now can Vici siege down the mid lane turret. They've still got 2 people with Baron buff available. It's only 25 minutes into the game. Should do a lot of damage. And Endless also shreds through these structures.
Yeah, he does some serious damage right now. World 6 seeds his blue buff over to Hetong.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, TNT goes aggressive here. He has his heal. Whoa, he does, in fact, burn it forward, and so much is blown as it's baited out. Looks like Vici tried to turn it. Here comes V from the side. He's being collapsed upon by now. Vici trying to get some more kills here with that Vayne dead. They only really have to worry about Doinby, who's running for his life right now. There's the knock-up. It's another kill. A Shockwave finds 3, but it's already 3 members of Xiaogu dead, and Vici played that great.
What an overextension coming out of TNT, though. They continued to tumble forward, really wanted to chase that one out. In the end, it was a great pulverize that came through from Mata on a stealth target to prevail in that, and now Vici have a chance to break the base.
Wait, Dandy's just burned his Zonyas on accident there as Vici, they break down 2 turrets, they pick up 3 kills, the inhibitor goes down. Vici have just blown this game open.
Yeah, right back in control of it. We said, you know, that they're not really willing to gamble. That was the first real gamble they took, a scrappy team fight in the mid lane. Great ultimate came through from a Hetong, deleted TNT, who was a lot of the standing gold. Equalizer came out to welcome V to the party as well, and just everything came up Vici, so we'll see whether they can continue to play that form of League of Legends.
Fee not able to get the Scuttle Crab as Hetong secures it with his red buff and burn from the poison, and Vici
has ultimate available.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful here. V doesn't have his Onslaught of Shadows. Here comes TCT, and TNT manages to kill Dandy. Turns on to Mata. Look at the damage. True damage doesn't care about your damage reduction. Here comes V. He's almost got the Onslaught of Shadows. He was playing that cooldown, but didn't find it in time.
Yeah, exactly right. So in the end, QG will be able to hit that with his structure. Maybe a minor hiccup. World 6 going for an inhib.
What is he doing right now? Toynbee is there to catch him. Blue buff is not going to help you, Rek'Sai. He makes it right back over the wall. But the rest of Xiaogu look to trade objectives with this. Are they going to trade tier 2s?
Yeah, Endless looking to see if he can grab a tier 2 in the top lane. Bottom lane tier 2 going to go across to QG. So in the end, it is an objective trade and still a 2,500 gold lead for Vici.
But again, Xiaogu are down 2 turrets. That gold is still on the map whenever they get an opportunity to take it, though. Swift going for the engage right now. Woo! Good dodge from Swift. Gets him out of there.
There's 4 members converging on him.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot. Let's see if he will be able to squirrel his way out of this one. He dashes forward, flashes the wall, but Mata's already ahead of him, knocks him back into the endless waiting arms.
Mata actually played that really well. Predictive play coming out of the support player, continually knocking him up, ooping him back to the AD carry, trying to get Endless a little bit further ahead. You can see he's going towards a Bloodthirster now. And that was danger zone for Vici Gaming. They were able to roll, resist the first big haymaker that TNT and team were able to throw at them, and they still are ahead. They're still able to push through. They've broken the base. So many win conditions continue to be ticked off. The 5th Dragon's still a very real threat because of how early they started off this game. So you have to say that everything's still firmly in their control.
Most definitely is, as they are only up a small amount of gold, but you're talking about these win conditions. That is the inhibitor and the dragon. We'll see if they are able to continue weathering Xiaogu down, or if Xiaogu will be able to throw off Vici and end up taking the win, as that Vayne is only going to continue getting more and more powerful. And Doinby looks to follow suit as he breaks his 3rd item.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, he's huge at the moment. The trinity of AP items with a blue pot also on top of it. Doinby going to be doing a lot of work in the upcoming team fights. 1:30 on Dragon. Same amount of time pretty much on Baron as well. And you have to think that Vici, they might try and pink ward out the pit and see if they can trade once again.
Yeah, force a choice out of Xiaogu and try to make them make the wrong one, as currently you've got World 6 setting up a wave on the top side of the map. In fact, that's not a slow push. That isn't a hard push if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, well, World 6, he's the one with the global still available. Dandy doesn't have his, so they use him as a split pusher. And this is why I actually don't mind an offensive item on Rek'Sai jungles, because if you're going to fulfill this role of creating map pressure, you need a meaningful wave to be able to do it. Whereas right now, he clears wave finds because Cinderholt doesn't really push turrets too hard.
Not terribly, though. Xiaogu look to respond, seeing Rek'Sai on the other side of the map. They get some pretty solid damage onto the mid-tier 2 turret. Not quite able to bring it down, but TNT with like 9 Banshees stacked on top of each other. Not going to be too worried about taking that much damage from Vici. And now the Dragon's up in 30, so too is the Baron. Vision still rests in favor of Vici, but Xiaogu have got superior positioning for that Dragon.
Yeah, blue buff going to be stolen over right now by Doinby.
Yep, manages to get it and get out of there. Hatong tries to go over the steal, but doesn't quite find it.
Mata's got a flank here. He's behind the team. They need to be careful right now, QG. They've been scouted.
They see him coming. Here's the Talisman of Ascension. Can they burn through Mata? He knocks Doinby in. What a great knockup, but TCT stalls it out perfectly. He still ends up going down, however, as TNT juggling it on the outside of the fight. There's the challenging smite, but he's still running away from Danny. So much damage. The shockwave is huge. It picks up 1v, looks to clean up the back half of the fight with the late teleport. Mata suddenly regrets his poor positioning as Swift and TNT shred through his health. He goes down. World 6 and Endless can't find a way in. TNT has been relatively untouched throughout this fight as Swift could look for the dive here. It's 3 versus 3, but they disengage.
Yeah, so in the end, it is top laner and support going down both ends. V actually had a fairly early teleport, got an ulti in, but then disengaged because of how the team fight was going. But you have to say that this Vayne very seriously ramping up. No one can really stand toe-to-toe with TNT right now. All the lifesteal already completed and able to shred through Mata is a reasonably big deal. They're pressuring the Dragon. Teleport's available for Dandy, is not available for me.
They turn it into a fight. Hatong forced a flash out of there. Here comes the teleport from Dandy on the backside. He doesn't have Equalizer, but that turns it into a 4v3. Here too comes TCT. The shockwave off of cooldown used once again, and Hatong manages to pick up the kill on the Doinby.
And this is going to be Dragon number 4 going across. The Hecarim streaming across the map. They are pinging it back to try and pull it out of the pit, but it will go through to Vici.
Yeah, Dragon number 4 secured after an incredibly extended engagement, and I can't believe that there were only 5 kills after that.
I can't believe there was 2 shockwaves. Going to be able to get both in good positions as well. Still went Vici's favor because of the teleport advantage to Danny. They didn't have to burn it the first time around. They used the Rek'Sai ultimate. Danny was already with the team. Great flanks coming through from Mata. He's running incredibly quickly, and a lot of the pressure now on TNT. He needs to be the man to step up and deal with the hyper carries coming through, because 6, 2, and 3, Hatong in a decent position to carry. World 6 incredibly tanky. Dandy having a better game this time around, although 1, 5, and 8. Very unfair scoreline, you would have to think.
Yeah, not so great for Dandy. He did have a very tough time during the laning phase, but was finally able to make up for it. Same thing coming out of V on the other side, who finishes off his core tanky item. So we're starting to see these champions get to that late game sort of damage and tankiness power level. But again, it's only a 2,500 gold difference between these two teams. The biggest difference we're seeing is between those turrets and those 4 dragon stacks.
Yeah, the dragons are huge right now because it means if this game gets towards that point, it's just such a pressure point for Vici to be able to continue to play on. And we've already mentioned they're at their best when they're playing around pressure, making QG have these bad decisions, going for the flanks, making sure they're fighting on their terms. You saw that last time it was Doin being knocked into the middle of the team. TCT had to give up his life to save him. And once again, it's going to be well. Oh, Mata.
Yeah, Mata takes some serious damage from Doinby there.
So they want to split
away.
push with World 6. You can see in the bottom lane, he was going towards that wave. It is a slow push though, so they don't really need to commit him. And everyone just wants to reset.
Yeah, Mata actually completes the recall. World 6 is going to do the same right now, and Xiaogu immediately turn onto the Baron. They shred through its health so quickly with the Bane.
The man on the map has it smart.
Here comes World 6. The equalizer is perfect right on the pit. They are able to secure it, however. TCT goes down. Doinby scared away by Dandy while TNT's turning onto World 6. He hasn't been able to bring him down. Shockwave zones Dandy away, and TNT suddenly is on the wrong side of things. He's got no way to get out of there. He goes down to Endless, who cleans it up.
Yeah, Doinby zoning everyone with the ball.
They turn now onto V. Yeah, V's taking a lot of damage. He goes down to Endless as it looks like Vici aren't done just yet, but now they finally are.
Yeah, so Baron goes over to QG, but in the end it's 3 kills for 1. See whether they're able to survive as Swift now in some trouble.
Oh, he manages to find Swift as he goes over the wall. Here comes World 6.
Just go for the inhibitor, guys. It was 3 people dead, but they don't decide to.
Here comes Endless. Nope, he decides to go ahead and catch that big ol' wave on the other side of the map.
Yeah, so in the end, it's a 3-for-1 coming through in Vici's favor, proving they can win the team fights, but Baron buff now available for QG. We mentioned the standing gold still on the map. If they're able to pick up the last 2 outer turrets, the game will once again nearly be even. Yeah,
this has been a very close game, though Vici are making some incredibly confident plays, and that's working reasonably well for them. Here's a breakdown of the fight.
Yeah, so they... Beautiful equalizer comes in, and then Endless gets some good crits on the back end. And the problem, TNT was stuck in the Baron pit by himself. You know, this is where he makes the realization. He's like, oh, I just flashed away from everyone on my team. I'm going to die. And on the back end of that, Doinby does a good job of zoning. V does go down once again to a very fed Sivir with the red buff, but not able to continue to chase through because Doinby does a lot of damage. And that was just Baron for a 1-team fight on Vici's end.
Yeah, things looking very solid for Vici. They, as you mentioned, they do not have that Baron buff. It's Xiaogu who have it. They shove down the mid to try equalizing that goal just a little bit. There are the Baroned up minions, and TNT doesn't have his last Whisper yet. Decides to finish off the Quicksilver first, and he shreds through that thing so fast. Dragon number 5 is going to be up in 2 minutes. V with a bit of a split push. Looks for some pressure on the other side of the map.
So once again, this is... Oh, Mata's caught out.
Yeah, he just might be. Mata taking a lot of damage. They dive over the wall for him. Dandy forced to Zanya's in the middle of the team. There goes the chrono break from Swift right on top of World 6. He's knocked out of the fight, but not taking any damage from TNT. Mata's in the back. He feeds it right back, and he ends up going down, but TNT's still alive. There's the Monsoon on the right, and TNT over the wall getting so much damage. Endless is forced to flash away, and Dandy with no Zonias goes down.
Yeah, and look at all the mana that comes back. Doinby was in that fight, but the Athene's doing so much work. Able to break the base now, QG, and as we said, the standing gold now completely equalized with this 6 turret, and the first lead of the game goes over to QG.
Yeah, and just like that, they break down the inhibitor. It's 30 seconds before Hatong, Mata, and Dandy are back up. They could look to end this out. It's World 6 and Endless, 2v5, 2 against the world. Can they hold it off? V tanking the turret. 1 goes down. TNT's getting onto the second one. The Shockwave pulls Endless back in, but he's still alive in the back end, and they're able to hold.
Yeah, so in the end, Vici able to survive by the skin of their teeth. The reason the QG have to back is because 5th Dragon is available. Expect to see... Actually, Swift doesn't pull it, so they might be able to pick this up. 30 seconds. They can get a shove out. Vici can force 1 last fight.
We'll have to see if they're able to pull it off, as here goes World 6, chugging his way across the map as quick as his tunnels can carry him. There's a late recall out of TCT. He's not going to be there in time for that Dragon to come back.
For the skull crab.
Yeah, he's going as fast as he possibly can. Doinby completes his recall last, and Vici, they've got control over the pit for now. Their inhibitor is down, but they've got a pretty big window to take this 5th Dragon.
Yeah, they certainly do, and a very good chance to be able to secure it. Doinby's Shockwave on cooldown. They must know it's about to come back up. Can they grab it in time? No, it's available. Oh, this is going to be important. No flash on Doinby or TNT. Hetong still has his. Watch for him to make a play if he's able to.
Yeah, very tense situation between the two. There goes the parallel convergence. It's spotted out, and Vici clear the chronosphere in time. We're just waiting for that one pick as we've got a standoff between the two. Look at the tumbleweeds rolling by.
Yeah, and you know they're pinging out that wave saying we have to go eventually. Swift's in.
Yeah, he goes right in, finds World 6, but that's not the target that he wanted. Still an equalizer available for Dandy, and they disengage.
Yeah, so Vici need to make a move soon. You see the bottom wave, it's slowly stacking up. That will take down the last turret if it has the chance.
Oh, Endless gets a bit far forward. Swift ducks in, takes the shield, but then not able to follow it up with anything else.
The other thing they can do right now is just teleport and try and take the base. There's no one that can really defend. They pull it out.
Might be an option. Dragon being pulled out a little bit, but Vici slow on the take. They try burning through its health. Swift positions himself appropriately. Shockwave goes down. Xiaogu managed to get it. They turn immediately onto Vici. The World 6 is low, but he's able to get out of there in time as TNT just picking his targets. He picks World 6. He goes down. Equalizer drops TCT, and V has already fallen in the meanwhile. TNT wasting his time with the double Zhonya's. He's going 2v2 here with Swift. He goes down, but before he trades his life right back over, Doinby and Endless, who heals up off the ward, does still go down to Doinby. Meanwhile, Mata's on the other side with Dandy. They scare Swift away.
Second base turret goes down as well. The Nexus is exposed. QG able to win the fight. Super Creep still in the base, so they need to get back there. And in the end, it was Doinby outplaying Endless on the back end of that team fight that secured the victory for QG.
Yeah, so close. 3-3 right there for the overall trade of things. And Xiaogu take that 5th dragon. They managed to stall it out a little bit more, but they get so much gold from those base turrets.
Yeah, exactly right. So now they've got the gold advantage. It's only still 1,040 minutes into the game. That means nothing, but just a little bit cleaner in the execution, you have to think. As Doinby once again picking up all this farm, going towards what looks to be an Abyssal Scepter is his last item.
Oh my gosh.
Playing with so much confidence on Orianna and making it work. 8-1-9, 400 CS.
Yeah.
He's 130 up on his lane opponent. What a game out of QG's mid laner.
Yeah, Doinby is playing out of his mind this game. So much damage done in the overall course of things. And you mentioned he's got the CS lead. He's got the score of 8-1-9, has been all across the map when he needs to. And this is Doinby stepping up. We've said time and time again, yes, he plays utility, but really coming into his own as a control mage carry as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, he was playing support mages when his team needed him to. Now that the meta's more towards these control mages, definitely have picked him up well. Let's take another look at this team fight. You know, they were able to steal away the dragon. TNT goes incredibly deep here into 2 Zhonya's Hourglass. You pointed it out. He was on the back end of it. Endless was chunking out Doinby, but he was able to live, and they didn't wait for the Zhonya's out. If Endless just had stayed instead of going for the support, he would definitely have been able to pick it up, but Doinby wins the duel.
Yeah, amazing play from Doinby winning that one out. Swift, once again, getting aggressive. World 6 zoned away from his team, takes the tunnel to safety. Baron has respawned. V with the split push has got his teleport. Dandy got his own as well.
Can kill him in the time. Did he just go to the Nexus?
Oh, seems like he could do that. Oh my gosh! Once that realization dawns on him, you're just going to watch him dash forward, but Vici respawn by shoving down the mid.
Yeah, so it's about whether Vici can get back in time, I guess. But it looks right now that V's just way too strong, especially with challenging smite.
There goes the Talisman and the On the Hunt, but they don't find the engage that they want.
Okay, that's what they were waiting for. Inhibitor was respawning. V with a flank can't get there in time, and everyone disengages. Sivir ultimate burn.
Yeah, so that is a pretty long cooldown for Vici. Now that Baron is still on the map. Vici actually starting it. They're burning through. Here comes the teleport for Dandy. It's already at half health. So much damage coming across his World 6. Going to be able to get the steal. Xiaogu, don't stop. They're stopped on the Baron, looking to turn this into a fight. Mata trying to zone them away. TNT is taking so much damage in the pit while V's dealing with the front line of Vici. He's forced to run away. World 6 cannot finish him off, and Doinby gets the first kill, then follows it up with Mata. It's 3 kills now, and Vici are crumbling under the concentrated efforts of Xiaogu. Hetong, the sole survivor, running away. Swift provides chase, but V's on the Nexus. He doesn't even care about that snake lady.
Yeah, in the end, Doinby going to win out on this duel as well. It looks like V's going to win the game. And what a performance out of QG. Once again, Vici, after an incredible early game, crumble late.
Yeah, an amazing play from Xiao Gu, waiting so